Welcome back to the Uncharted board game. This is the beginning or the start of round 3. Like before, I have already done sort of the recovery phase. I have refreshed all the face-up cards for both Tenzin and Chloe. So I did that kind of off camera so you don't have to watch me flipping the cards over. All right, so to recap, we have Tenzin at 4 victory points. Chloe now is at 2. There are 2, I guess, villains or soldiers out on the board. One doing 1 damage, one doing a possible 2 damage if a card is not 0 pulled off the action deck. And Tenzin has 1 token on the mask, which gives him a +1 attack. And then Tenzin will be going first in round 3, so let's go over to him and see what he's going to do for his first 2 actions. Okay, so here's Tenzin. He's at 5 health. He's the first player, so he's starting. He gets 2 actions. He has no cards in his hand right now. So I think the first thing he's going to do, his first action, is to draw an action card by using the run card. And he gets a pistol, which is the same card that I believe Chloe pulled up last time. So you may discard up to 2 red cards from your hand and they each gain +3. So that was 1 card. And I think he is going to also use the zip wire. He will lose 1 health down to 4, getting dangerously close to possibly dying. Maybe not the greatest idea right now. However, he does need cards, so he is going to draw another card. This time it is a green card. It is 0 cost to play, and it's Drum. And discard a card from your play area to damage 1 other player. Okay, so that was his first 2 actions. He's at 4 health. Let's go over to Chloe, and she'll do her 2 actions. And we'll just rotate back and forth until they both pass. Okay, here we are with Chloe. It's her turn to take 2 actions. She would really like to get her special ability going here, which means she needs 2 red cards out on the play area and 3 blue cards. However, that's a little tricky for her to do. This costs 3. So the first thing I think she's going to do is she is actually going to do the run action, which allows her to draw one of the action deck cards. So she draws a green card. It is a 3 and it is the Furba. Stand when resting non-green card in your play area. So if she can play this down, she can stand a resting green card. So that's her first action. And for her second action, she is actually going to take a wound using her zip wire to draw another card. I believe getting cards in this game is pretty good. It allows you to do more things. And she pulls Marco Polo's journals, and it says stand when resting yellow card in your play area if you play this down onto the play surface. All right, that's 2 actions for Chloe. Back to Tenzin. Okay, Tenzin now has a couple of cards. Of course, he has a 0 card here, and he has a 0 green card as well. So, I think for his 2 actions, he's going to play his 0 green card, the drum card, and he will play his 0 red card, which is right here. All right, that's quickly his 2 actions. He now has 3 red cards out, 2 blue, 2 yellow, 2 green. And we're back over to Zoe for 2 more actions from her. And I meant to say Chloe. I think I called her Zoe. Watching too much Firefly. Okay, back to 2 actions for Chloe. And what is she going to do? Wow, I think she is going to actually take the 2 green cards. She's going to do this balancing. So she'll use that card. She will discard her 2 green cards. Whoops. And she will draw 2 other cards. So she draws another blue and another red. And she draws the same one, another blue run card, allowing her to draw a card, and another red gun card, which is discard after you play this. So that is her first action, and I think for her second action, she will discard one of her 2 red cards to play this one. One of her blue cards, run cards, to play the gun down on the table. So that's her second action. She still has 3 cards left in her hand. And now we're back over to Tenzin. Okay, so Tenzin, for his first action, he is going to do an attack action, which he's going to use these. That gives him +5. His special ability, he is 6 or less, gives him another +1 is 6. And as I'd mentioned before, he still has 1 token on the mask, which gives him also a +1, which is going to be a total of 7 damage. And with a total of 7 damage, he is able to take out the RPG soldier because he has 7 life points. So he does that. He is going to get 2 victory points. He goes from 4 to 6. And of course, he gets to draw a special action deck card for defeating the character. And this one costs 5 to play. It gives +5. It says each time you defeat a target by using this card, you may deal 1 damage to each other player. So it's a big Gatling gun, 2-handed weapon. Okay, so that goes to his hand. That was his first action. And his second action, I think he doesn't like being quite so damaged, so he's going to play Care, which is recover 3 life and then discard this card. So he discards it and he goes from 4 up to 7 life points. All right, that's his second action. Back to Chloe. And yes, I do this most times. And when you have an empty space, you must fill it. So before we get to Chloe, let's fill it up with the next card off the adventure deck, and it is an amulet, and it says recover 2 life when you discover this, and it's worth 1 victory point. So that goes out on the board. Now we go over to Chloe for her 2 actions. Okay, so over to Chloe. She gets 2 actions, and not to be outdone by Tenzin in defeating enemies, she is going to discard this card after the attack. So it's worth 3. It will get discarded. I'm just going to do it now so I don't forget. So that's 3 attack, 5 attack, and she is going to discard this card for a +1. That gives her a total attack of 6. And so for her first action, a total attack of 6 is enough to take out the scout. So she will get 1 victory point. She goes from 2 to 3. The scout is discarded. She gets to draw a special action deck card when she draws this one, which is just a straight 9mm +3 gun. That's pretty good. And we need to replace the adventure deck card because there's a space, and we will do that. And it is now the enameled snuff bottle. And it says whenever a player with 1 or more search markers on this card plays a card, he or she plays it at a -1 cost. So that is going to go out on the board. And now we do not have any enemies left on the board. That was her first action, and I think for her second action she is going to use a search action. So we'll go to the board and she will place her search token. Okay, so Chloe is going to place her search token onto the emerald snuff bottle, and the reason being it's whenever you play 1 or more search markers on this card. So she has a search marker on it. When you play a card, he or she plays it at a -1 cost. So this is a global effect. So any card you play, or any card Chloe plays now, is going to be -1 cost. Okay, over to Tenzin for a couple more actions perhaps. Okay, so Tenzin is now going to do a couple of actions. He's going to do a search action. So I'll do this in a second. He is also going to play Temptation, which is move a search marker from a treasure onto another treasure. So he's playing that as his second action. So let's go back to the main board and have him do that. Okay, so Tenzin doesn't really like Chloe having this token up on that artifact, so he is moving it down to the mask, which will give her a +1 on gun. And he also has, as his first of 2 actions, he gets to place a token on the board as well. So he's going to play it on this amulet, which is recover 2 life once there are 2 search tokens on it. All right, back to Chloe. Okay, so Chloe has 3 cards in her hand, and for her first action, I think she is going to discard this red card to play this one, which costs 1. So that will be able to put a card down into her hand. That's her first action. And for her second action, I think she is going to pass. And in passing, this time passing, she is going to place a search token. So back to the main board, and she will place a search token on it. Okay, so Chloe has a search token to place. And she is actually going to place it here on the amulet. And now it has been discovered. And she is the one, or sorry, what happens now is it's been discovered with 2, and each player has an equal number of search tokens on it, so each player will receive the victory points. So we go straight up here. So Tenzin will get 1, Chloe will get 1. Tenzin is now at 7, Chloe at 4. And now this has been discovered, so the tokens go back to the respective players. And this is removed from the game, and a new adventure deck card is placed out. And it is the gold coin. And it says whenever a player with one or more search markers on this card uses a special effect of blue, yellow, or green, the color of the card he or she discards does not have to be the same color as the effect. So basically you can discard any card you want and just say which color you want it to be. All right, Chloe has passed. Tenzin has not passed yet, so let's go to him and see what he's going to do. And of course, with this card having been discovered, it is recover 2 life. Both Tenzin and Chloe recover 2 life. So Tenzin goes from 7 to 9, and Chloe goes from 6 to 8. So that's done. I did Chloe's off camera there, but her life has gone up too as well. All right, Tenzin, 2 actions if he so desires. And I think he is just going to pass. So he will retain the first player marker. He'll be first for round 4. Back to the main board, do a little recap, and that will be the end of round 3. Okay, so this is the end of round 3. Would now be into the damage phase, but as you can see, there are no culprits, villains, guards, or whatever out on the board, so there will be no damage dealt. So that's the end of round 3. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking the videos. If you do, join me next time. Tenzin will be going first for round 4. Thanks for watching.